The Book of Obadiah is the shortest book in the Old Testament, yet its message is powerful and timeless. Though it consists of only one chapter with 21 verses, Obadiah delivers a profound prophecy focused on judgment against Edom and the ultimate vindication of Israel. It is a call to remember that God's justice will prevail, especially against those who oppose his people. To understand Obadiah, we must first grasp the deep-rooted historical context between Israel and Edom. Edom was the nation descended from Esau, the twin brother of Jacob. Though brothers, the relationship between Edom and Israel was marked by rivalry, conflict, and betrayal. The Edomites occupied the mountainous regions southeast of Israel, a land rich in minerals and strategic importance. The central theme of Obadiah is God's judgment on Edom for its pride and cruelty against Israel. Obadiah begins by pronouncing the doom of Edom because of its arrogance. The pride of your heart has deceived you, you who live in the clefts of the rocks and make your home on the heights. You who say to yourself, who can bring me down to the ground? This pride was not just personal, it was national and political. Edom felt secure in its mountainous fortress and natural defenses, believing no one could defeat them. But God reveals that pride leads to destruction. Obadiah warns that despite their fortified position, Edom's day of reckoning is coming. The book sharply criticizes Edom for its violence and betrayal against Israel. During a time of attack on Jerusalem by foreign armies, Edom did not come to Israel's aid, but instead rejoiced over their misfortune and even participated in looting and violence against their kin. Because of the violence against your brother Jacob, you will be covered with shame. You will be destroyed forever. This verse highlights that God holds Edom accountable, not just for political hostility, but for betrayal of family and faith. Edom's sin wasn't merely refusing to help, it was actively exploiting Israel's suffering. They stood aloof when their brother nation fell, mocking and plundering. Obadiah condemns such behavior as unforgivable. You should not have looked on the day of your brother in the day of his calamity. This is a profound moral lesson. God expects his people and even their neighbors to act with compassion and solidarity, not take advantage of tragedy. Obadiah goes on to declare that Edom's violence will be returned to them in full measure. The imagery is striking. Their allies will turn against them, their fortresses will be invaded, and they will face destruction. God will bring them down from their lofty position, exposing their vulnerability. Though you soar like the eagle and make your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down, says the Lord. This verse underscores a key biblical principle. No matter how powerful or secure a nation feels, God's justice can reach anywhere. Yet, the prophecy is not only about judgment, it's also about hope for Israel and restoration. The final verses of Obadiah shift focus from Edom to Israel. God promises that Israel will be restored, their enemies defeated, and the kingdom of the Lord established. The house of Jacob will be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. The house of Esau will be stubble, and they will set it on fire and destroy it. This imagery of fire consuming the enemies of Israel is powerful and symbolic of divine justice and purity. Obadiah also speaks of the day of the Lord, a day of judgment not just for Edom but for all nations that oppose God's purposes. On that day, Israel will possess the lands formerly held by their enemies, and God's kingdom will reign supreme. Deliverers will go up on Mount Zion to govern the mountains of Esau, and the kingdom will be the Lord's. This future hope points beyond immediate historical events to the ultimate establishment of God's rule, a theme echoed throughout the prophets. Key teachings from the Book of Obadiah. Pride leads to downfall. Betrayal and violence against kin is a grave sin. God's justice is inescapable, no matter how powerful a nation is. Compassion and solidarity with others, especially God's people, are commanded. God will restore his people and establish his kingdom. The day of the Lord is a day of judgment and hope. Why the book of Obadiah still matters today. Obadiah's message is a timeless reminder that pride and cruelty bring judgment, while justice and mercy lead to restoration. In a world filled with conflict, division, and betrayal, Obadiah challenges us to stand for righteousness, to reject arrogance, and to care for our neighbors. It also reassures believers that no matter how dark the times, God's justice will prevail and his kingdom will be established.